Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to clone yourself in a photograph so that you can have many of you walking around in a photograph here. And it's a relatively simple thing to do, so let's check it out. Okay, so let's talk about cloning ourselves in a photo in Photoshop. And I'm just going to show you the way that I like to do it, and I think it's a pretty easy way. But you can be the judge of that and leave comments down below. That's perfectly fine. So I'm in Photoshop, and I want to open up different pictures of me standing in different spots around this house here, and I want them all to come into layers. So if I just go up to the top and in Photoshop here in File, and I just go up top and I put Open. I'm going to get a bunch of separate images that I got to put into one tab for all of them to be in the layer. But if I go up to File at the top here and come down to Script, and I don't know why it's called Script. If anybody knows that, please let me know. But it's called Scripts here. And then we come down and load files into Stack, which is another one. Why doesn't it say load files into layers? But it says load files into Stack. So I'm going to click on that. Now, when you get in here, it says load layers right here. And what we want to do is we want to browse our computer and find the photos that we want to use. So I'm going to browse our computer here, and I'm in the area that I want it to be. I teach a class on Photo 52. This is a midterm project for them. And JPEG images here, and these are all the images that I want to import for this photograph. So let me just click on the top one. I'm going to hold down my Shift key and click on the bottom one, and then I'm going to go ahead and just put Open. Now, I'm not going to automatically align the images because I did that, and I'm going to talk about how I took the photographs so they're all aligned. I'm not going to create smart objects because I want it to move rather quickly. These are all JPEGs. So I have all of my images set up here, and I'm going to right click or left click OK, and it's going to start loading them. And you see over here to the right underneath layers, you see that all of my layers are loading up here. And here's my image. Now the first thing I'm going to do is make it larger in the screen, so I'm going to hold down Command or Control and PC command on my keyboard, which is a Mac, and 0, and that's going to open it up. 0 on the number key, by the way. That's going to open up to the large area. So you can see that it's a picture of me standing here, and then if I hide that picture by turning off the eye, you can see a picture of me standing over here, and so on and so forth as I work down these images. Now, when you take these pictures, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the camera is on a tripod or the camera is one spot so it doesn't move. If it does move, you got to line all the pictures. But if you have it on a nice tripod, nice and solid, it's not going to move. If you have a person there, they can take the picture when you get in position to help you. If not, what I did was I set it up to be timed images, intervalometer is what I use, but a lot of them will do time-lapse type pictures where they'll take a picture every 2 or 3, 4 or 5 seconds. I believe I set this one at 5 seconds, and I was standing here, and I'd get in this position, and I'd stand there for at least 5 seconds because then I know it took a picture of me there, and I'd start walking over to the next spot. And so I walk over here, and I'd stand here for 5 seconds. Now, if it took a picture in between, that's okay. I just went and used that picture. I'd just delete it. But so that's what I did with all these, and you can see that as I click on these eyeballs, you notice that the only thing that moves in the picture is myself. The building itself does not move, nothing else moves. Now the easiest way I find to do this is to start at the bottom. Most of the time we start at the top here, start at the top and working here to create masks, but in this case we're going to turn off all the eyeballs and go down to the bottom one here. And this particular one, I am over in this position right here, so I know that. And this is going to be my base picture. This is going to be, the house is going to be used for this picture, the landscape. Most of the picture is going to be this one right here. So my next picture here, I'm standing over here and to the left. And I want to create a mask over here so that only that part of me shows. So what I do is I want to highlight that layer. I click on that layer and left click on that layer. When I say click on a layer, I mean left click. If I do a right click, I'll tell you. But left click on a layer here, and I'm going to come down here to this mask symbol right here, layer mask, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on that. Now it automatically becomes white, which means that it only shows this layer. And I want to hide this layer completely. So in order to hide this or make this black mask so it basically hides everything, I'm just going to put Control or Command I. And that's going to change it. Now we see our bottom one. We see this one here. But I know that I am right over here. Now if I change a part of this mask to white, if I paint on this mask into white paint, it's going to show me up right over here. So that's what I want to do. So I want to come over here and I want to make sure that the white is the foreground color. So I just hit this little arrow back and forth, or X on the keyboard. We'll do the same thing. And if you don't have white and black there, let's say you have a different color or something, all you got to do is hit on this little white and black symbol up here, and that will give you what you need. So I have white and I want to go to my brush tool. So I'm gonna press B for my brush tool. It's right there, but if I press B, the brush tool shows up. Now I'm on a kind of a weird brush here, so I want to go up to the top here and I want to just select a normal brush. And let's go with this one here. And I'm gonna set my hardness down to 0. And the size right now is 70 pixels, which that's fine. And we'll just click over here to get rid of this. But anytime you use one of these tools here, up at the top, this menu changes, and this gives you options. And so this option is for the brush to change it, and you also have different types of brushes here, which I don't have any predefined ones, so nothing's there. So I know that I want to paint now over here white onto this mask. So I want to make sure that this mask over here to the right here is highlighted with these 3 or 4 little white corners right there, and that shows me that I'm on that mask. If I was on this, that would not be good because I'd be painting on the picture. So I want to paint on the mask itself. And come on back over here, and if I just paint in, you'll see that I magically appear right here. Now the beauty about this, because this is taken at the same time as this one, or pretty close, everything matches up. So all I gotta do is blend in this little spot here. So if I come over here to the mask, and you see that when I get rid of the mask, we only see me, because that's on top, that's top layer, that's what we see. And when I let the mask show, everything else is invisible, and we see the bottom picture of myself. Here is the mask that I actually made over the top of the picture there. This is where I put the white, so this part is showing through, and that's that mask there. So I'm showing through on there. So this layer is done. So I want to come to the next layer. So I'm going to highlight that layer. I'm going to turn on the eyeball there, and we see that layer, I'm standing right here. Now again, the nice thing about this is that there's a shadow right here created by me standing there. And when I paint this in, if I paint all that in, that shadow will show up. So this time I'm going to have that layer highlighted. When I go down to my mask, I'm going to hold down my Alt on PC. It's going to be Option, and I'm going to click on that mask, and it automatically comes up black. So I've saved a little step there rather than doing Command or Control I afterwards. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to paint myself in right here. Now if you'll notice, if you look at this wood right here, as I paint over that, you see how that shadow comes in? So that makes this a very natural looking image. You don't have to create shadows, you don't have to do any of that. The shadows are automatically there. And we just continue to go up to the top here. I'm going to highlight this one, and this is me standing in the door. And again, sorry, I turned on the eye, I should say. And now I'm going to highlight that layer. I'm going to come back down to my mask again. I'm going to hold down the Alt Option, click on that, and now I'm going to paint myself in. Oops, it wasn't a door. Yeah, it was a door. Okay. I thought maybe I missed something here. But yeah, my computer's going a little bit behind me now. Don't know why. So paint all that in right there, and you can see that I'm standing at the door. Very sad I am. Come up to the next one here. I'm going to click on this layer. I'm going to turn the eyeball on this one, and I see that I'm in the window. So you want to remember where you're at before you add the mask, so you know where to paint. Like you saw how confused I was there for a little bit. And I'm going to come down to the mask again, hold down Alt Option, click on my mask. My mask covers up everything, and now I just want to paint myself in this window right here. Now, I don't want to go too far over, because if I go too far over, see how I can paint myself out here, because I'm showing this part of the layer over here, which I don't want to do. Now, I can reverse that just by coming over here and clicking this arrow right here and painting white or black back on this, sorry. So I'm just painting the black back in here so that it shows down to the next layer where I'm at there. If I paint on myself here on this layer, I lose myself because I'm painting black over it. I want white just for this area right here. So if you look over here, you can see the little mask that I made right over here for each of these. Now my last one here, I'm going to turn on the eyeball there, and I'm sitting here pretending to tag. I think that is like some cleaner for the camera bag. But this painting was here, so I'm going to make it look like it was my artwork. It wasn't. And I'm going to highlight this area right here. Go down to my mask again, hold Alt and Control, click on that, and just go ahead and paint myself in right in this area here. And I want to make sure I come down to my legs so that I get the little shadow that I'm creating right there on the painting itself. This, by the way, is all painted over now. I mean, this thing has been painted over so many times by different people. Okay. And that's it. That's all there is to creating, cloning yourself in a photograph. So the main thing to remember is that you want to have your camera on a solid, firm tripod or something that where it's locked down in one position. You want to go ahead and take pictures of yourself in different areas, roughly around the same time, so that the lighting is the same for all of them. And then you want to bring all of the pictures into layers. Into Photoshop, and then working from the bottom up, create your mask from the bottom here, working on up, and that way it makes it so much easier. So if I turn off all these, you see that we get back down to our first image that we started with, and coming on back up here to all of them. Now, what happens if you did shoot it slightly out of line? Well, out of alignment. Well, like if you clicked on this eyeball and you saw the next picture, and let's say this moved a little bit. Now the sky is going to move a little bit on each picture. I'm not worried so much about that because we're mainly looking at the sky on this composite down here. I've not even painted anything up here, so I don't mind that moving. But if the building moved each time, what I want to do is, first thing I did would be bring these images in. I would click on the top one, and then I would go down here and hold down Shift and click on the bottom one so that all of these were highlighted. Then come on up here to Edit at the top and click on Edit and come down to Auto Align Layers right there. And when you click on that, you're going to get this menu right here. And just keep it on auto, and you're going to click OK. Now I'm not going to do that because it might throw them out. But you don't want to have either one of these clicked. You don't want to click either one of these boxes. You just want to have auto selected. Click OK. And what it's going to do is it's going to attempt to line all these pictures up. It does a fairly good job, unless you really, really move that camera quite a bit. But the key thing is don't move the camera, make life easy, and you got your picture. So hopefully that was helpful to you. If it was, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. And I will be posting up other Photoshop and photography videos soon. But for now, go out and take some pictures of you around things. And you could be, like you could be playing all kinds of instruments in a band. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could change clothes between things. I have the same jacket on. I could have taken it off or put on a different jacket or, change clothes as I moved around so that it was me but in different clothing. You could do a lot with this. So have fun with it. Try it out. And hopefully we'll have you guys back on the next video. Take care.